Yeah. Come on. Boundaries drawn in shifting sands. Reality at my command. 1,000 paths I could have walked, 1,000,000 words I could have
Act
talked, but
1.
in the desert dark.
The assignment. The elevator to the basement of the Cosmopolitan didn't exist on any blueprints. You needed specific credentials to make it appear. A keycard and retinal scan calibrated to your specific dimensional signature. Every agent's eyes carried traces of the realities they'd visited, like cosmic passport stamps. Access granted, the elevator announced as I descended. Welcome, Agent Calloway. The Vegas branch of Oversight occupied a pocket dimension beneath the strip, technically existing 2 inches to the left of conventional reality. Our offices shared space with parallel versions of themselves, thousands of identical rooms occupied by versions of us from adjacent realities, all stacked like playing cards. Deputy Director Christine Harlow was waiting with the doors opened. Her silver hair pulled into a severe bun, eyes the color of burnished copper coins. The official record said she was 62, but rumors suggested she'd been with Oversight since its founding in 1947. Time moves differently when you spend half your career between dimensions. "You're late," she said, not looking up from her tablet. "Traffic on the strip," I replied. A lie. I'd spent 2 hours examining the M4, memorizing the unique rifting patterns Marcus had engraved into it. Still couldn't get them all locked in my head. She led me to the briefing room where satellite images of Las Vegas flickered on wall-mounted screens, each showing slightly different versions of the city. In one, the stratosphere leaned at an impossible angle. Another, the strip extended into the body dump doubling as Lake Mead. "We've detected anomalous energy signatures in Vegas 418, Harlow said, tapping one screen to expand it. "Similar to what Agent Kirby was investigating before his incident." Marcus. She couldn't even say his name. "You want me to go in?" I asked, fighting to keep my voice neutral. "Observation only," she repeated the directive from earlier. "The reality distortion appears centered around the Luxor. Temporal disruption, clocks running backward, casino patrons aging in reverse. Nothing too disruptive to the fabric yet, but concerning." I nodded, studying the screen. Vegas 418. A world where the mob never left, where Howard Hughes became a technological dictator instead of a recluse, where the desert was slowly reclaiming the city, sand piling against the casino walls like red gold snowdrifts. "Why send me? You know Marcus and I were close." Harlow's expression softened fractionally. "That's precisely why. You understand his methods, his thinking. If this distortion is related to his case, you think he might have caused it?" "I think he might have tried to stop it." Her eyes locked with mine. "Officially, this is reconnaissance. You go in, observe the anomaly, report back. Nothing more." "And unofficially?" She handed me a slim file folder. "Bring back anything that helps us understand what happened to him. The final transmission we received from Agent Kirby suggested he'd discovered something unprecedented. Something that changed everything he thought he knew about parallel realities." I opened the folder. Inside was a single photograph. Marcus standing before the Luxor Pyramid in Vegas 418. The structure glowed an unnatural green instead of its usual white. The timestamp showed it was taken 3 days after Oversight had declared him dead, 3 years ago. Blood flowered through my chest. "This is recent." "That's why I need you, Calloway. The official report is closed, but I'm not convinced. Marcus was the best agent I've ever worked with, present company included. If something took him out, we need to know what it was. Why keep this unofficial? Why not full resources? Harlow's mouth tightened. Politics. Oversight Council voted to abandon the investigation. Too risky, they said. Better to seal off Vegas 418 entirely. And you disagree. I think running from threats only gives them time to grow stronger. She checked her watch, a complex device with multiple dials tracking time across different realities. You have 12 hours. After that, I'll have to report your transition. The council will assume you've gone rogue, just like they think Marcus did. Did he? Go rogue? Harlow's expression darkened. Marcus was many things. Impulsive, brilliant, loyal to a fault. But he believed in our mission, protecting the boundaries between worlds. I thought of the countless nights Marcus and I had spent in dive bars across a dozen versions of Vegas, comparing notes on reality fluctuations while drinking cinnamon-spiked Johnny Walker, slamming the slots and roulette tables. Forgotten fun, those times. I remembered him telling me once that parallel worlds weren't meant to be separate, that something or someone had fractured a greater whole. When reality breaks, he'd said, eyes glossy with alcohol and revelation, it doesn't shatter, it multiplies. I'll find what happened to him, I told Harlow. I tucked the folder into my jacket. Be careful, Calloway. These rifts. She hesitated. They're getting worse, more frequent. Some on the council think they're connected, not isolated incidents, but symptoms of a larger collapse. As I turned to leave, she placed a hand on my arm. One more thing. The weapon you're carrying, that's not standard issue. Oh, you noticed? Call it X-ray vision. I froze. Personal memento. It's evidence in a closed investigation. Are you going to confiscate it? She removed her hand. I didn't see anything. 12 hours, Calloway. Not a minute more. Back in the private transition room, I removed the M4 from its harness and examined it under the blazing light. The microscopic rifts glowed like stellar cartography, a map between worlds. Marcus had shown me how to read them once, each unique pattern corresponding to a specific reality. I found the sequence for Vegas 418 etched into the trigger guard. Not a coincidence. He'd wanted me to follow him. You son of a bitch, I'll find your ass. The transition process was simple but disorienting. Focus on the rift pattern. Align your consciousness with its frequency. Apply pressure, not physical, but mental, like pushing through a membrane. First force. A vaguely smoke-drenched casino carpet stench hit my awareness. Finally, a nudge to give, like ears popping on a plane landing. Then pop. In a snap, memories of Marcus flooded back. The trick isn't getting there, he'd said during my training. It's remembering who you were when you return. The air around me began to shimmer, reality bending like arid heat waves off a summer running I-15. The transition room dissolved, atoms rearranging themselves into a new configuration. I felt the familiar vertigo, the sensation of falling through my own skin. And then, darkness.